Hello, in this session I'm going to discuss the referred entity. I log into the developing workbench to the module where I would like to define this referred entity. I defined a new model. The model, instead of being a concept model, is a new referred model. We're going to call it a refer, and then I shall define the first entity. I'm going to call it address. I'm going to add some fields inside. While doing it, I'm going to explain what's the meaning of a referred entity. Well, a referred entity is like an extension on a domain. Instead of the reuse of a specific field, we can reuse a group of fields like we do it in a class. Not only the reuse of a group of fields, but also a group of fields and the logic attached to that. Okay, and address type, for example. Now let's type house number, numeric, let's say 4, street, character 50, and let's say city. We can take city either by putting the city name, and then we'll need to do a control on the names, or we can use city code, and by taking it through the domain we can use the city code and verify that only cities from a certain class or from a certain table can be inserted. And a zip code, let's take it a numeric 5, and it's done. We're going to implement it, and if we check it, we'll see that referred entity cannot be tested, meaning we cannot, in a difference from other kinds of entities, this entity is just a logical definition of a group of fields. It cannot be used as or to save data, just the definition themselves. In the referred model, I cannot assign or join or include entities that are not from that type. Now, how do I use it? I go to the party. The party is a normal entity. I can test it and see that there are already fields inside and data inside. You see the party sequence, the party ID, names, and etc. And I would like to add an address. I can either decide that for this application the only thing I want to do is to add one address, meaning this party may have only one address. In that case I will use the add reference on the level of the root segment. What happens now are that those five fields that I've preliminarily defined in the address referred entity are now included as part of the party entity. They are painted in gray, meaning they cannot be edited, just joined or included here. And if I will test it now, I can see that those fields here appears here. Now, in case I would like to have the more than one address, so I said, okay, this is not what I meant to do. I just stand here, click on my right click, removed referred entity. Those fields are removed, so disappear as a group. And now I defined a weak entity, and I will call it party address. I will give it a key, a sequence key, address sec, numeric, let's say 2, and then here I will include those entities from the referred entity. And now we can place it, move it to the implementation stage, and if I test, I can see that here down I move to another screen where I have a multi-occurrence possibilities to add information to the party, more than one address. So if I put one here, but I didn't put anything yet here, and I can see that just by clicking here I got a drop down list from the city code defined in a general model. Okay, now if I would like to add some tests here, for example, I would like to make sure that this zip code is valid. For example, I would like to guarantee that only 5 digits are valid. So what I will do now, I'm going to delete this one, going back to the referred entity, going from here. I'm going to define the rule, going to call it check zip code. I'm going to attach the rule to the address, to the entity. I'm going to put a validation rule, check zip code, and the rule is a simple rule. Let's say zip code greater than 9999, for example. Let's say, and we'll put an arrow, message zip code must be of 5 digits. Of course, there are other ways, other means doing it by mask or whatever. This is just an example. I'm going to compile it and going back to the party here and test it. So go down here. I'm going to put again data. I don't know, whatever. And then if I put 666, see, I get this arrow appears. So the good thing about it, if I do it correct, it passes, is that the reuse of a certain logic can be implemented in many entities, like in the party address, in the department address, in whatever address that we use. All this kind of control can be executed only once. Okay, I think this example conclude the class about the referred entity. Thank you.